Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Discipline Therapy Podcast. I'm your host, El Discipline. Alongside me is your other host, Sue Sotomayor. We have a special in-studio guest. Maybe some of you know who this is already. Returning guest. Maybe some of you don't. But before we get into that, we know y'all are fiends, and y'all know that y'all are fiends, and we know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where not everything is completely free. As we're on Patreon for a plethora of exclusive content for you to see. That's why I said everything is not free. But what is free is judgment-free, sucker-free, censor-free, sensitive-free, and plenty of liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or my favorite, roll a blunt, but make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vulgar conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale, left, and exhale. Strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're here.
Now, mind you, I didn't want to go extend too much because we're so close. You know what I'm saying?
You want to knock her out with the muzzle?
But nice in unison, we're here. And the reason why it was unison is because you've been here before.
She knows the rules.
So without further ado, this is Daphne from Australia.
Hello. Thank you for having me again.
She came all the way from Australia.
You came with someone else, actually. But
She's
they're a bit
shy.
Yeah.
A bit shy too.
Okay, so we'll get into the topic, but let's get into it real quick. So Australian, your ethnicity is Greek. Her ethnicity?
Chinese.
And she lives in Australia too?
Yeah, born and bred.
So she's a Chinese chick with an Australian accent?
100%, yes.
It would have been so good to bring her on.
People would have been like, what's happening right now?
We can call her if you want. You can speak
Hell
to
yeah.
her.
No, we can't.
Yeah?
Can we?
Well, we'll put her on speaker.
Well, it would be on the spot and she'll be so embarrassed, but it would
Who
be...
cares? I want to hear her talk freaking Australian.
No, don't do that to her. That's your friend. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying?
she
You don't
killed me.
put her on
Sorry,
the spot. Be
Steph.
like, wait a minute. So the whole time we were live? You know, but it would have been good to bring her.
Yeah.
Because to see the modern foreign woman, what would be her mentality pertaining to like how the world is, you know, because they're out here. You guys are out here.
Yes.
You come at least once a year.
Yes.
And it's around the time that it's colder here and summer over there?
No, it's usually... I prefer it to be a little bit colder here, and that's when I come to New York, because it's so hot and humid here.
Is the hotness different from like here from out there? It's
very
dry out there, right?
It's dry in where I'm from. Here it's just humid constantly.
That makes it worse.
It's not great at all. So I try to avoid that at all costs. But also when tickets are cheaper, that's when I come.
She's like, but more importantly, that's when it comes.
Correct.
Yeah, so
I don't know where to look.
So
always that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so okay, so you know you've been here before, so just I'm gonna refresh your memory. Guests go first, and what we're gonna do is when I'm done, you're gonna ring that tuning fork.
Yep.
So we clear the energy. So that's your privilege for being a guest, right? You're gonna get to do that.
I'm doing it from Sue. Thank you.
Also, what I like to do, you know, with Suhei is have her write stuff down. Because when I'm driving the car, I don't really like bumps in the road, metaphorically. So that's interruptions and stuff. I want to drive smoothly to park.
Done.
You know, so because sometimes I'll just forget my train of thought.
Yep.
That's why we started implementing the written documentation form of that. So it's right there in the middle of both of you. So it's good. I forgot mine.
I have an extra
book.
But
I think I should be good.
I don't have an extra pen, but I got a book.
Okay.
We can share.
All right.
Give me that.
All right. So so let's get into it. We first and foremost shout out to Center Stage Music Studio in Belmore, New York, Long Island. Just really quick, I'm gonna say this and then she get into the tuning fork and then Sue can mention the topic. So we're also on major listening platforms. Choose your poison. But we're not poison. We're healthy. All right. So, but choose your guilty pleasure, right? Whatever is your preference, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and plenty more. We're visual and audio. YouTube.com/the Discipline Therapy Podcast. All the links are in the description. I'm just briefing. EL Discipline books, coaching, business inquiries. Both our emails are in there. So hey, and mine and store disciplinetherapy.launchcart.store/shop. New gear dropping every month. We have everything you could think of, so there's a little bit for everybody. We have a BDSM category where it's things that I've implemented or on certain quotes and stuff like that. We have hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have bottoms, we have footwear, we have outerwear, we have youth, we have children, men, women, unisex, home goods, accessories. Yeah, all right. So you can do the tuning fork.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Then now we can hear it, Sue.
Okay. That's for you guys. We're
So we can
clearing
hear
your
it online.
We're clearing.
She's jabbing.
I've never done this before.
She jabbing. You know what I'm saying? She gonna come with a left hook.
I think that's okay. Is that
Yeah,
good? All right.
that
Put
was
that away.
good. Bravo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice. Nice.
Yeah, most people don't hear it because with the noise cancellation that I implement, she goes like this, so it's away from the mic. So it's they hear in the beginning, put in the mic, and then we get out. So, all right. So what do we got today?
We have episode 207. Do you believe women aren't submissive to their man because most women don't believe they're lucky to be with them? Part 2.
Okay.
All right. So I'll reiterate. Guests always go first. So doesn't matter, male, female. We give you guys the chance to shine. Plus, a lot of people like to piggyback on what I say. So I really want to get out your opinion. I don't want you to piggyback. I don't come here to try to sway people's perspective my way. We like to hear different people's perspectives. So I don't go first, or Suhei doesn't go first. So you can be, oh yeah, that's what I want. We want to hear your perspective.
Okay.
It does, but we want to hear your perspective. Oftentimes, that's usually what it happens, and you do get into a case of laziness where you just jump on the bandwagon or piggyback. So we do that for 2 reasons: that and for the guests to shine.
Okay.
So what do you think?
All right. Well, I think that question has many layers because I also don't think women in general are submissive to start with. So they're automatically not going to be submissive to their man. They actually still think that they're the prize. So they actually think that the men should be so grateful that they've chosen to marry them. And I'm not saying all women are like this. The majority, from what I've seen in my 44 years and what I'm still seeing, is that women are more obsessed with being in a relationship, running the relationship, social media photos of this is what my relationship's like. This man's going to do what I want. He's going to make me happy. If he doesn't make me happy, then I'll get rid of him because I'm a prize. I'm going to find someone better to do it and be submissive to me. Women these days don't think that they're lucky to have a good man because, like I said, they think that they're 100% what they're bringing to the table, like they're everything to the relationship. Again, if a man is a bit weak, he's going to be in that sort of relationship. But again, if it's a submissive woman naturally, a feminine submissive woman and a masculine man, she's automatically going to be, feeling lucky.
Oh, very good.
Feeling lucky as well and to be with him, because a woman that knows what a real man is like will be grateful to have them. A woman that is feminine in their feminine energy and appreciates a masculine man, they're going to be they're going to feel that they're lucky to have that relationship. Whereas the modern woman is not in their feminine, again, still, which is unfortunate, and they're more masculine. So they don't understand that, the man is also just as important as they are.
Do you know women like that?
Oh, plenty of women. Yes. I see a lot of modern women today, and it kills me because it's unfortunate because of the situations that we're in. A lot of women today are forced to be masculine because the men are a bit more feminine and brought up to be delicate, as opposed to back in the day when men would be more manly and, not saying they're not, they're not like that now, but the majority of men that I see, especially in Australia, are very lazy in the sense that they don't make an effort. They think that, because we've all fought for this equality crap, women can do this, women can do manual labour, and we can do all that. So the men have softened up a little bit and the women have taken on a very masculine role. So the imbalance is it's evident and it shows with relationships.
Hold on your question, Sue,
Sorry.
because you will keep going, and then we won't even get into the bullets. You're being generous by saying the man would be kind of weak, like a little weak. He's weak.
It's very weak.
We call a spade a spade. He's weak. Second is, I like that. I like that analysis you went through. There's one thing I want to say, and then we'll move on. There was last thing you said about the women have to be forced. So this is what I believe, and then we're gonna go to Sue. What do you think? I believe the men are masculine, technically. I think that when they get with a woman, most men, they relinquish that. So when I talk about men are masculine, when they go out into the world, they man up. When they're into their sports, they man up. When they gotta fix cars, if it's a mechanic, they man up. When they gotta go fight war or whatever, they man up. When they gotta build these cranes and use the cranes for buildings and stuff of that nature, they man up. It's when they get with modern women, we'll say, and I like the way you differentiated modern women, because I don't like to generalize myself. They relinquish this because they think it's the best way to connect with them. So it's like you relinquish control to get along, get along to get along. So that's a lot of their mentality today. It's simping, but it's like the simp is the most fakest guy. It's not real because I just mentioned everything that they do outside of that. Now, if you're getting with an effeminate man who is also outside like that as well, away from his woman, that makes sense. That makes sense. If there's a lot of men like that, that makes sense. But from what I see them doing things that are really dominant outside. So I would just naturally expect that they're doing that in their relationship, and that's not the case because we don't see what's going on behind closed doors.
A lot of men today are also taught happy wife, happy life.
Correct. That saying is very strong.
The conditioning, everything that's going on, because at the end of the day, it still comes down to the common denominator. They want to connect with women. So that term that probably two white guys made up, right? Started
maybe women.
Feminism as well. Most likely is the guy that made that up.
True.
You know what I'm saying? This is the best way to get to connect with women. So to them, it's more like woman is always the focus. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not gonna go off on a tangent because then we'll be here forever. So, what do you think?
I agree with Daph that women, modern women today are not submissive. And I think they're not submissive because they think being submissive is being weak.
Correct.
And like getting stepped on and all that stuff. So
Yep.
that's why they're not. And I agree with you that because they're not submissive, that they're not tapped into their feminine. I believe that's why they think the men that they're not lucky to be with the men, or if they do, like if they don't feel like they're lucky to be with that man, I think it's because they think he still needs work on something. So I'm gonna fix him up, and then when he's what I want him to be, then I'll be lucky.
When you ask a woman like, would you submit to a man? What's their first response in their facial expressions?
You know what? I've gotten women that have been scared to say and they asked me. They asked me first, like you, and I was like, yeah, if it's my man, yeah, and they're like, oh, me too.
Wow.
Like thank God. It's almost like they're hiding.
Yeah. Because everyone freaks out and they roll around like, I would never submit to a man. I'm like, God.
Yeah. Mr. Discipline?
Yeah, so that's like the follower complex that women have. That's, oh yeah, me too. So they want to know, like, if they feel it in their gut, they might be thinking, well, what do you think, girl? And then what do you think? Because they don't want to be the one that's going to be exclusive.
Yeah.
They don't want to
Yep.
be the one
Yep.
that's going to just pull that trigger. There's a risk for rejection. There's a risk for scrutiny. There's a risk for metaphoric rocks to be thrown at you. And a lot of women, I don't care how strong they are,
I
wanna
find that
go
I'm sorry.
with that.
I find that the women who don't automatically say either way, yes or no, they're the ones that are submissive. Because the ones that aren't will just automatically off the bat be hell no.
Now I believe all women are submissive, modern, whatever, this and that, technically,
Yeah.
right? So now I'm gonna get into the topic, and I'm just gonna get into history, but I'm gonna get into history first. So, when I mention like things about BDSM, my lifestyle, stuff of that nature, that's a traditional thing. It's been going around since the ancient Egyptian times. So when we implement submissive and dominant in there, we're looking at masculine and feminine. And when we're looking at submission, right, or submissive, the adjective, characteristic traits, we're looking at a term that is already embedded in women's DNA. And they're going to bring these things out when certain things arise, like danger, whatever, arousal, and all of that nature, right? It's just that submission and dominance is an old school thing. It's linked with tradition. The reason why a lot of men are leaning away from dominance, but the topic today is about women, so they're leaning away from submission, is because they're not in their traditional era. You know what I'm saying? They're not in their soft girl era. They're not in that regard. And oftentimes they don't want to do that, even if they think it is intrinsic or it's intriguing. They don't want to do it because it's not the norm. And because it's not the norm, they see it as boring. No, that's what my grandma did. That's old school. That's boring. That's not the style. That's not what it is. Women own their shit now. Feminism, blah, blah, blah. It could be equal. But reality is, they have it in them and they don't know. So it comes down to the education. And it could be subtle things like heard the fairing to a man about where they're going to go eat. So that's the technical aspect. And then I broke down the history. So now with this topic, I believe that they aren't submissive to their man because they don't feel lucky to be with them. Like you have to look at it in regards to being lucky means you're humble. Being lucky means that, you appreciate. So you're showing gratitude. So if you don't see masculinity in the men that are courting you or you're with them, you're not going to feel lucky there. And then it's going to also show based off their actions, what they do online, how they move, how they dress, whether they're going to obey or not obey. And it could be subtle things like, that doesn't make me comfortable. Like you're going on girls' trips to a party city, like you're in a relationship. Oh, what, you don't trust me? It's not about that. It doesn't make me comfortable for you to be going out there. Your location, there's creeps out there. It's beyond me.
Yeah, sex trafficking.
So now in that regard, like she's not even following or even respecting her man's boundaries or giving his feelings a thought because she don't feel lucky to have him.
Selfish.
So yeah, that's another thing too. So selfishness can play into that. So it comes down to like humbleness. So when you're lucky to have something like, you humble yourself and then you show with your behaviors.
Gratitude. Nope, that's true. Wait, did you answer the topic question? Yeah, you did.
I said yeah.
Do you believe if someone is inebriated, it's still consent? That's
Am I going first?
Yeah, you're the
Always.
guest.
Look.
Oh wait, she forget because sitting next to a masculine man. So
I'm intimidated, so I'm waiting to be told when I can go. I'm
You
used
may
to that.
speak.
Thank you.
He gotta tell you that,
He's
not
going to
me.
I'm not used to. I'm looking at him. Am I allowed?
She said, Sue, get out of here. Don't tell me what to do, Sue.
Look, this one, I'm sorry, it's very controversial, but I mean, I've been drunk before and I know what I've consented to. So.
You're going to say yeah?
Depending. Yeah, no, still. Yep. You're getting drunk yourself. You know what you're doing. If you're agreeing to something, that's on you.
Okay.
Unless they're actually spiking the drink or, piling them. But again, are you dumb?
Yeah, but see, you're adding context. We're not adding context. We're saying
Oh.
black and white. So if you make a right turn, you know what I'm saying? Is that the way? If you make this left turn, is that the way?
It's going to be bad, but I say yes.
She said it's gonna be bad.
Yes.
So it is consent if you're inebriated still.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think?
I'm gonna say no. It's not, because you can start off one, like you said, like you can start off. I know how much it's true. It is context, but I think if you can't stand or like
Then
make
don't drink.
coherent, that's true. But also the person that's taking advantage, because that's taking advantage.
100%. But still, you're drinking. You're making that choice. I'm not trying to sway you anyway.
No. But I'm still not making the choice to have sex, though.
See, here's the thing, though. You see that? You see what she did there? Here's the thing. When we say inebriated, right? Now you're talking about how. You're talking about choice. Like, sometimes maybe it's, it is choice, but you could have someone, you just mentioned spike their drink. Now they're inebriated. So, I'll let you finish, Sue. And then I'll get into it.
That's it. That's all I said. Yep. It's not consent for me.
So here it is. I believe what she said I was gonna get into. It goes even depth of two different things. There's sexual consent, and then there's that being inebriated. So if they're inebriated, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's consensual. Consensual that we're in a relationship. Consensual that we're gonna have sex, consensual that you could kiss me or whatever it is, right? So I think that inebriation, the moment it's intact, you're not normally yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like some people could say, it just enhances that. It just amplifies what's already inside. Not for everybody. Not for everybody. So I've never seen her twerk like that, but she's inebriated. Wow, she's doing a really good job. When she's sober, she don't even know how to do that. But she's inebriated. So she's doing uncharacteristic things. And when we do uncharacteristic things, most of the time we're going to regret it. So I think that it's like a two-way thing. Just because they're inebriated doesn't mean it's consensual. Because that kind of could put a green light for the guy to spike the drink and be like, well, yeah, but we had sex. Oh, I didn't the next day. I didn't ask for this or whatever. I mean, when you was drunk, you didn't have a problem with it.
A lot of guys say that too.
She did. It's just that what you put in the drink and on top of the alcohol itself fucked her up. Like it made her just forget it. This is why I talk about this specifically too in relationship. Sometimes a woman might have had to get through that 4-year relationship, 2-year relationship because she was on mushrooms, psychedelic drugs, and that made her horny. She had to have Henny. She had to have wine before seeing him because she can't just get off being sober. He can't do that for her. That's how I look at it. It's not consent. It's the alcohol. So it's just, what I think.
Wait, she has notes.
I have a question. You said it's uncharacteristic, but is it uncharacteristic or is it just in them and the alcohol brings it out? Because I can't twerk sober and I cannot twerk drunk. So it's not in me. So is it not just something that's in that person being more enhanced because they have freedom?
Well, I said that. I said, but not everybody. It's not for everybody. Like I wouldn't say that for everybody. I wouldn't say that, you know what? It's liquid courage for them. Liquid
courage, that's right.
But when they're sober, they're shy. They wouldn't even think of doing that, twerking or whatever, or walking up to a guy they like.
Can I ask?
So she's doing something uncharacteristic based off the substance.
So if she needs alcohol to do that, she should be drinking.
She should be drinking?
No, should she be drinking or getting therapy and finding some help?
She shouldn't be drinking.
She shouldn't be drinking.
Yeah.
So that goes back to the question: if they're drunk, they're not aware.
Consensual?
Yeah, like are they not aware of what they're doing? I mean, depending again,
I
I
mean,
know people
Depending
being
on
really
who
drunk.
it is.
Yeah, some people get
maybe not
blacked
aware.
out.
Yeah.
But that's their choice again, and that's on them.
But not if they're blacked out and the guy has sex with them.
That's right.
Daphne. It's just what it is like we're not talking about choice or not. Like obviously you're right. There is choice, but we're talking about like if they're inebriated, is it consent? Like we're not adding like choice and like we know that. Like if I choose to go out on a Saturday night to the club with my guys and get shit-faced drunk, that's my choice. But I also have the choice to stay home and read a book,
Correct.
put a movie on, have a woman that I just like, oh, let's do dinner, or like go to play bowling, bring my team out. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a choice, but at the end of the day, like it's that substance itself. Like at this point, it's already in their system. You know what I'm saying? It's already in their system. Eradicate choice, right? It's already in their system. Now from there, we go to the consent. If they're inebriated, if they're drunk, high, whatever, mushrooms, psychedelic drugs, weed or whatever, and they're engaging, is it consent?
I'm still gonna stick with yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like even if somebody, like let's say you're going out and somebody goes, here, just take this shot or take this pill or whatever, it's gonna make you feel great, and now you're inebriated.
Why are you taking it?
Because your friend told you to.
That's a character problem.
Well, no. Look, it comes down to choice. We trying to get away from that. Yeah. By her taking it, whether it's peer pressure, or whatever, they're still making a choice. We're trying to eradicate that. We're getting to the point where they're already inebriated. Yeah. They're already inebriated. And
so they're drunk from when they do. Okay.
A guy comes up to okay, let's put scenarios. Let's put context now. In the club. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this, but I'm the only guy here. You're inebriated. I walk up to you, you're bent over the bar counter, and I pinch your ass cheek. You're a traditional woman, you're out with your friends, and you turn around and I look hot and you give me a pass. If you were sober, would that be cool if I was still hot?
When someone's hot, everything's all right.
So if you were sober and okay, you just got to the club, you didn't drink yet, you didn't even order your drinks, and that happens. I'm a stranger, and that happens, and you turn around and I'm hot. Is it consent? Like, did I have permission to do that?
You had no permission, but that's obviously how
would you feel about that? Would you give me a pass?
Because you're hot?
No, eradicate me.
Oh, okay.
Like just
just
I'm
a hot guy.
I'm hot, but I'm a stranger.
Because sometimes people are dumb.
So you would give him a pass?
I'm not going to beat him up because he pinched my ass.
No, we're not talking about that.
No, but I'm not going to get mad. Like unless he's actually, if he's groping me and he's being disgusting, that's a different story.
You're not going to say anything to him.
I'll be like, what are you doing?
So it's not consent because you're.
Yeah, but that's an attack from behind because I'm not even aware of it.
But it's not consent. Like you wouldn't smile at it. You wouldn't keep quiet. You wouldn't say, "Hey, how you doing? Let me give you the number."
He's hot. I don't know.
No way. That's crazy.
I'm joking. No, I hear what you're saying. I do, and I agree with you. But again, I'm just probably a bit more diplomatic in a lot of situations and stuff because, that person might be drunk. He might come up and he might be so drunk. And so, do we blame him?
You're so nice.
You know what I mean? Like only because I've seen a lot of people go off for stupid reasons. If he's pitching my ass and it's a cute little thing or whatever, I'll be like gross, whatever. But I'm not going to attack him and ruin his night.
That guy should get kicked out the club.
Really?
I believe he should get kicked out the club.
Look, if I had a boyfriend,
because I'm kind of surprised because you're a traditional woman. 100%. So the way a man approach you should matter.
I'm not going to marry him. Like I wouldn't even talk to him. Like if he'd done that, I'd be like, ugh.
You say he was hot and you're like, would you give him a pass? You struggle with the answer.
A pass means like, I'll see you later. I'm not going to talk to you again for the rest of the night. But like, I'm not going to be like, how dare you? I'm going to call the cops on you. Like it's we're in the club. We're drinking. You're in a nightclub scene. We're not in a library or in a kitchen cooking pasta. Like we're in that environment. Like imagine. And this is another thing. What
about you're out to dinner with a first date?
And
let's
he did
eradicate
that?
the club now. Because you now talk about the environment.
Yeah, well, that's a bit inappropriate. And I'd be like, it's not even about consent. It shows his character. I'm like,
he
if
did
he does
the same
this,
thing.
Yeah, like that shows his character. So,
So,
I'd be like,
so it's okay because it's the atmosphere?
no, it's not okay. I'm saying if we're out for dinner, it's the first date, and he shows himself like that, there will be no second date. Like, okay, you're a creep.
So it's not consent.
Wait. Let's say you're out to dinner with your friends. Same scenario, but you're out to dinner and you reach over to grab something, and the same thing. A hot guy pinches you, but you're not drunk and nothing yet. You're in a restaurant. Where's your reaction now? Same thing.
What the hell happened? What? But the thing is, I don't understand. Are we
What
going
the
to
hell?
crucify this guy because he's an idiot?
Girl, let me tell you something. If I'm bent over and some stranger, I don't give a fuck who you are,
you know
touches me.
You know why? You know why I say he should get kicked out the club? Because he needs to be held
He's a
accountable.
predator.
He needs to be held accountable because no, just let me finish. He needs to be held accountable. Daphne, what I like to do, and Sue knows because she's always around with the podcast and stuff, so she knows my thinking. The way I like to do is I like to look at the little things. I don't just look at surface level. That's a major problem waiting to happen. He's probably used to, because he's entitled. He's an entitled brat. He's probably used to doing things to women, maybe money for this, that, probably could be a sex trafficker. He doesn't approach like a gentleman. I don't care if he's drunk or he's sober. He didn't approach like a gentleman. So the way he's approaching you too, he's looking at you as a piece of me. That's a sign of him not respecting you as well. So that's a bit of a sign of what he could possibly be doing, beyond that, which is why he felt the audacity to do that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in that atmosphere or whatever, so what Sue was saying, he could be a predator. It's the little things that people show you.
Yes.
So that's why I said
herself.
He should be kicked out the club because he needs to be held accountable. He's probably a spoiled brat that's entitled. He does a lot of bad shit and he never gets consequences.
Because he's good looking.
But the thing is, though, we're talking about, okay, that's his character. And if he's like that, he's a creep, he's got to go. But is it consent? Obviously, that's the question. If he's doing it, I obviously did not consent to him pinching my ass because I didn't see him.
That's what I want. It's not consent.
It's not consent. No, but that's the whole thing. If I'm drunk and I'm talking to some guy and I'm like doing whatever and he's grabbing my ass, that's consent. This is him coming up from behind pinching my ass. I'm not aware of it. That's not consent. But if I'm drunk and we're hooking up or whatever and he does stuff, that's consent.
That's consent.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So consent is like body language. It's not.
When you're
It's
aware
more
of the
than just
situation.
saying,
more than saying.
Because if some bloke from behind is coming up to me and doing that, I'm not aware of it. I didn't agree to it. I didn't know what he's doing. Even if he is hot, it's still like, you're weird. Like, what are you doing?
So I'm putting these trigger words on purpose because there's a reason why there's so many feminine guys today because of the fear of consent.
I know.
You see?
Yes,
so that's
100%.
why, like, it's all a method to the madness.
I appreciate that. That's great.
What's the next bullet?
What would make a woman feel unlucky to be with her man? Is it trauma, like behavior, like influences?
Because before you get into that, just hold that real quick. A lot of men are not approaching women today.
None.
Even though a lot of women want to be, there's still a portion of women that want to be. So it's the consent thing that they're afraid of because they don't know how it's going to be based off their trauma, virtual disaster. Damn, I want to talk to her, but she might be like, "Get out of here, creep."
She might shut me down.
She might call the cops. And you never know what's going on in these men's head.
It's true.
So that makes them do the feminine thing, which is
Nothing.
Not even, hey, how you doing? Like, you don't even got to talk to her. Like, hey, how you doing? She doesn't say anything. You keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't put you in that frame of dominant and masculine where you're a natural goal-getter, hunter. All right, now you could
answer the
reiterate.
question.
Oh, okay. I think in today's society, it's definitely influence. A lot of women will see a lot of other women, on social media or what they're hearing about trips, rings, money, how good my man is. He brought me flowers, blah, 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 blah. Even though they don't live in that house and they don't know what's really going on. I think that's maybe what would make a woman feel unlucky. Definitely the influence of her surroundings, for sure.
I agree with that. I also think maybe trauma or what she's experience will, like from that point on, will make her feel unlucky to be with the man. Maybe what she like learned behavior, what she saw her mom go through, or another woman, that can also, I think, would make her feel unlucky. I guess also how the man is how he's being present in that relationship too.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like if he's also not stepping up his game or doing his part, she might be like, why did I even get with him? I feel maybe it started out that she felt lucky and things happened, things change, and now she feels unlucky.
And then women get together and they compare and they're like,
we're both unlucky.
Yeah.
We talked about this in the last show. I mentioned that women were sitting at a slumber party comparing.
Yeah, they do that. And that's bad.
I think the main reason why they don't feel lucky to be with their man is other women. I think single women help single women stay single. So I've been saying this for years, like even before podcasting was big. So I think I talked about this earlier with the follower complex. It's a lot of women can't help it. Right. So I think a lot of women just follow other women. And when they're seeing, like you were saying earlier, Daphne, wait a minute, they're taking trips all the time, every month. Wait a minute, she's getting Birkin bags. Wait a minute, she got a Ferrari gifted. Wait a minute, this is going on with like other women. And then on top of what they're seeing, they're hearing it from other women, whether they're circle of friends or whatever. So I think that if a lot more women came out and was like, yo, there's benefits to submission, and I'm submissive and this, that, and they actually showed what it was, and then there was a plethora of them out there, a lot more women would adjust. Doesn't matter where they're at, because at some point, even the OnlyFans, wants to be in that realm. You know what I'm saying? Where she's like, oh yeah, I want to start a family one day. This is just temporary. That means to an end and all that. Right? So I think they all kind of want the same things at some point. So I think they'll get there. It's just that there's way more modern females than traditional, especially in America. So that just makes it so much easier to just follow the crowd. It just makes it so much easier. Like, these chicks over here look boring. Even though you might see the type of men that they have. It also puts women in a realm of, I have to improve. And I don't want to do that because that takes accountability. That's a lot of women's kryptonite. Not all of them, but I would say most. So in order to improve, you have to implement accountability. They go hand in hand. So a lot of women try to run away from that. So that's part, like a component of why they don't feel lucky, that I believe, to be with them.
Can I just say something? Yeah. You were probably the first person that ever said to me about single people keep single people single, right?
Right now?
No, years ago. I remember you telling me this, saying that, why would you take advice from someone that's single?
Yeah.
And do you know how much that's resonated with me? Because I'm single, right? Yeah. So every time, a lot of my friends are in relationships and they come to me for advice, I go, listen, I can tell you what you want to hear, but I'm single. Don't take it from me.
Send them to me. I coach people in different countries,
but
not just New York.
I took on that
and different states.
But I took on, that from because I've learned so much from you and what you've taught me over the years, and that stuck with me. So whenever someone comes to me for advice, I go, I can't help you. I go, I'm not in a relationship. I can't help you.
It is crazy too, like, because you were following me for years before we met. When you came out here. So there's a lot of people too that follow me for years that are like in the woodworks. They're in the bushes. They follow. So I'm glad that I've
learned a lot.
Inspired a lot of people and changed people's lives, saved lives, built lives, created lives.
He also does, because obviously being on the show with him, listening to how he talks, he also has that gift where you're like, I didn't even see it like that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But the same thing, how you said that phrase, and you're like, holy shit, he's right. The same thing happened in terms of with me and my son, and giving my son advice. He was like, you're not a man. I was like, holy shit, he's right. It's like the light bulb goes off. You're like, that makes sense.
It makes so much sense.
And there was a time where my son was going through some shit, and I was like, I can't help you because I'm not a man. You need to find,
And I learned that from him too. Like, a single mother can't raise a son. Like
Yeah.
she can technically raise a son, but
the
she
very
raise a
first
man.
time that we
To
had
a
this,
man.
Yeah, to a man, yeah.
the very first time we had these conversations, like in a single mother, I'm like, hell yeah, I have a son.
Yes,
Blah, blah.
exactly.
And he's like, yeah, how about
Yeah.
this? I'm like,
And it makes so much sense. Like,
Yeah,
a
like
lot of
that.
those things have stuck with me all those
Yeah.
It
years.
does make sense now.
I've always told Sue on the podcast. At first, she disagreed, but I think she's
do
on
that too,
board.
don't worry.
I said education versus circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Circumstance doesn't give people choice. Education does.
Yeah.
So when you have education now you don't feel sorry for people because they know right from wrong. They have the opportunity, the
Yep.
assets, whatever resources, platforms to even
Yep,
look
to
at
change
other
what they
platforms and
actually-
education out there to actually change their life,
Correct.
get into certain endeavors. So now it's on them. Back in the days, everybody's in the matrix or whatever, but now they have the opportunity to get out, unlearn to relearn. But the ones that don't want to, don't feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Whatever they get is what they
Agreed.
get.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You know
I'm
what I'm
gonna
saying?
say this before we move on to the next thing. If you guys go back to like the beginnings of the podcast, you could see the change in like, what do you mean? Until like, that makes sense. Like as the years go on, as the episodes go,
Yes.
it went from
Yes.
to
Yeah. I
just
think
makes sense.
you know what, that just triggered me. Before we move forward, I think another reason, yes, women have a big part of keeping other women single and not submissive, but I think beta male manginas.
Yep.
Like I think those effeminate guys do it because they'll encourage like, oh yeah, girl, keep taking your clothes off. Like in sexual liberation. In his mind, he's like, yeah, I'll never wife that, but I want to keep saying that so I
It's
can
free.
hit it,
Yeah.
so I
Stay
can be
single.
next. I don't have to invest nothing. I can hit for free. So they're gonna keep encouraging bad behavior, and I think that if females out there are looking at males' opinion to be very strong too, stronger than females, they're like, well, you got the men here, they might not know energy, and you got the females here or women here. They're mostly saying the same thing, so that keeps them in that realm of combating against it.
All right. Can a woman change that feeling of not being lucky to be with her man? And if so, what would help her change that feeling of being unlucky?
Leave society and go live on a
On
farm
an island.
with an island, and just don't listen to anyone that isn't married, successfully married. The older generations, it's social media. I mean, it's not only social media; it's so many things. If she wants to change the feeling, she can. But it's up to her because the modern woman today is all about the feminist equality. I want everything. If I'm not feeling it with that man, I'll find it from someone else. So they give up too quickly. They choose not to change that feeling because it doesn't suit their narrative. So they'll just keep changing it until they find something that suits their narrative.
I agree with that. I do feel like the modern woman today would be like, because everybody in this era is so quick for that not easy access, but quick fix. They're like, you're not doing what I
see you
want.
later.
Next.
Bye.
Next, exactly. And I do think that a woman can change that feeling. You have to put work into it. Nothing good is free, and nothing free is good.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want your relationship to work, you
Work
gotta
for
put
it.
that work in.
Yeah.
And if that means going to therapy, couples therapy, just you, that surround yourself with people that are more successful or are happy in the relationship.
Yes.
Get advice from those type of
Yes.
people. That's what I think.
I agree, Sue.
So two things. I don't agree with the marriage thing you were talking about or in relationships. Because I'm just not at surface level. What I look at is the success of it. Because, for example, I'm calling people out this season. Alicia, I think her name is Ayesha Curry, Steph Curry's wife.
Yes.
So if you look at her, you're like, well, she's married. They got 4 kids. See? No. Because now the way I'm looking at it, it's not a successful marriage. Like if you talk about 2 women who are the biggest losers for clowning their husbands, Jada Pinkett and her. You know what I'm saying? Publicly. That's not stuff that you say publicly. You keep that behind closed doors. She's publicly eviscerating him. Oh, years ago, I wanted attention. I wanted this. Now, currently, she went on another platform. yeah, I didn't see kids in marriage with him. I didn't see it. And meanwhile, he's on the side of looking at how lucky he is to be in this relationship and all this stuff. So you got to look at the actual success. I'm looking at a man that's not leading in his dynamic is not success. She's not submissive there. That's not success. I'm not going to want to learn from him.
Yeah.
That's just the perspective of a man. Now, if you're looking at the woman and you're like, well, she's married, but she's fighting submission. Sierra's twerking in the parking lot of Wendy's. So you could be married and show your booty online. It's nothing. It's the norm now. It doesn't mean you're cheating or you're disrespecting your husband. You can do that. You could do this. You could publicly eviscerate your man, whatever it is, and they're married. So like I wouldn't look at them and be like, I want advice from them. That's the one thing. The second is the bullet. I would say go back to the things, and you could even do something that some people think is corny. Get a notebook out and write down why you submitted in the first place. Because at this point, we're talking about they're together, and the feeling is gone. She don't feel lucky or whatever it is. Like, go back to the fundamentals. Like what like go back and
what
be
got
like
you there in the first
what
place?
got me there in the first place. Like pray on it, whatever you got to do to get you back in that feeling. That's what I would say. There are ways that they can change, working on themselves, and that's part of working on themselves. Like looking in depth, like trying to think outside of you. I don't think a lot of women do that. It's hard for them to do that.
Speak with your partner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's big. A lot of people don't talk. You know what I'm saying? They just automatically think, he should know what I'm feeling. Or she should know what I'm thinking.
Well, see, and that's the thing, too. Sorry to cut you off. But a lot of women are bad at communicating as well. So that, he should know how I'm feeling and stuff is bad at communication. It's very rare that you meet a woman that's going to be a straight shooter. Metaphorically, you know what I'm saying? Like she's just straightforward. She's blunt. She's honest. She gonna speak through hints. She's gonna speak through subliminals. Like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
The guy gotta really be able to read that.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
See,
sure. You
Okay,
know what I'm
same time
saying? For the people that don't see YouTube, like my arms are folded. Body language, like your actions don't match your words.
Yeah, definitely.
So sometimes, it's like, the guy might say, I'm not like this. I'm like, this is where we're going to eat. But some guys might ask, where do you want to go eat? And they're like, well, I would like to go to this place. But they really want to go to Cheesecake Factory or Olive Garden. But they're like, I want to go to Applebee's because they're trying to think about your pockets.
Oh, well, that's nice, though.
Yeah, but it's just not real. Like, it's very rare that you meet women that are going to be honest. So...
I think some women nowadays are too damn honest. They be like, you want to date me? Do my hair, get my nails done? Oh, you're not touching nothing.
That's terrible.
I don't think that's them being honest. I still think that's them being like phony and something that they're not. I think that's trauma. Yeah, I think that's trauma, and I think trauma makes a lot of people not be their authentic self and not speak their truth.
Yep, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're looking for some type of that's crazy.
Okay, what does a man have to bring to the dynamic for the lady to believe she's fortunate?
Masculinity. No.
Why?
God.
That's a good answer, but why?
A woman's obviously going to feel safe, secure, content, and happy when she knows her man is leading her correctly, is dominant, is masculine, and can lead the way. So that's when she knows she's going to be fortunate. So the man, if he's, obviously all those things, a woman is going to feel very fortunate and very grateful that she can trust her man and just let him lead the way as it should be.
What do you think, Sue?
I think I like her answer. I'm going to say consistency. Like he has to be consistent with how he is for her to bring all that Daph mentioned, to bring that out. Because if he's inconsistent and she's a woman that's paying attention.
He wouldn't be masculine then if he was inconsistent.
Huh?
He wouldn't be masculine.
He'd be feminine. If she's like, I don't think so.
No, that doesn't. I'm sorry, that doesn't necessarily mean that.
No.
I don't
If
want
it's
to.
inconsistent,
We're just joking.
I don't want to cut her off. No, because she's not giving more context. She's just saying consistency. So I could tell you I'm a consistent thief. And you could be like, yeah, I mean, I know he does bad things, but he always does this every week. Or he's a consistent cheater. Like, I'm a consistent cheater. You know what I'm saying? He never showed me that he wasn't going to cheat. At first, I didn't like it. But at this point, she's talking to her girlfriends. I'm used to it. He cheats every week. At least he's consistent with that. So how do you mean consistent?
Consistent with how he how he shows up in the relationship, like true to his word, what he says he does. Okay. Consistent like that. Like
subjective.
Yes.
So I want to make this clear for the audience. These questions are subjective. Daphne picked masculinity because that's what she would want. It may not be the truth of what we're saying. This is how it's going to make a woman feel lucky. Sue subjectively said consistency. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to think outside of me. So I'm going to say what's going to make her,
what does a man have to bring to the dynamic for the lady to believe she's fortunate?
I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to have to jump on board with Daphne.
You didn't want to do it. Why didn't you want to do it?
Because I wanted to give a different perspective. So in order for her to feel lucky, he has to bring masculinity. And everything that you said falls under the umbrella of that. And I'm going to expound. The reason I picked that is because it is like gold today. See, back in the days, if every man was like this, obviously she wouldn't feel lucky. He's not high value. Mm-hmm. He's not a rarity. But because this is something that's very rare nowadays, she is gonna feel lucky. Mm-hmm. Because it's not common to find again and again and again. Man, I dated this masculine man 4 years ago. Look, she's with another dude now. It took her 4 years to find another one. And she was out there in the dating market. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I'll agree with you on that and expound. He has to bring masculinity, because if he brings that, he's bringing everything else that's going to get her in that realm of her soft girl era. And if she's in her soft girl era, she's humble. Mm-hmm. It goes back full circle, connecting the dots. If she's humble, she's feminine. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So she's going to feel lucky. And she's feminine, lucky and humble are like the same thing. So, they could be synonymous. So if she's humble, she's going to feel lucky. Mm-hmm. And if she's lucky, she's going to feel feminine. So, she has to realize that he's a rarity. That's the only thing that's going to make her feel lucky. Because if she doesn't realize he's a rarity, she's going to treat him like he's regular. Mm-hmm. And why would I feel lucky with regular? Like I could walk out my house and get regular every day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So she has to see that rarity.
By her not feeling lucky, will she keep a roster or her options open?
Look, this one fascinates me because I never knew about women having rosters. And I'm not just saying that to look like I'm cool, but I don't understand this roster thing. Like, these days, apparently women do that. Yeah. Like, they have their social media, little connects. They have their, I've never realized that women do that, because I come from a different world with even all my friends and the way I was brought up. That stuff never existed. Like, if you're with someone, you're with someone. You're not speaking to anyone else. Right. But I think today they do keep it open, keep the roster open, just in case. When they're not feeling lucky or having a good day, they go and get that dopamine hit from some guy that gives them attention for 10 minutes. And then that boosts their ego up. And that's why they keep doing it, because they don't want to lose that quick dopamine hit when they're feeling low.
I agree with you. I think if she's not feeling lucky, also depending on the type of woman, but she would definitely keep her options open. Like not like you said, not all women have rosters. No, you know what I mean? But I'm sure she has, in her DMs or whatever, and she goes to that when she needs attention.
Yes.
But if she's feeling not lucky, definitely she'll have her options open.
For sure.
If she doesn't feel lucky, she's traumatized.
Yep.
And if she's traumatized, that means she's going to be heavy in her masculine. It's unless she does like extensive healing, right? And if she's heavy in her masculine, she's gonna do commonly what a man would do, which keeps a roster. And her keeping that roster, which is her options open, male friends that could be part of that roster, work husbands, whatever. She has like a fear of abandonment. Remember, like it's a whole bunch of trauma, so that fear is like, yo, I need an exit strategy. Like, it's just normal for human beings to have another job before they quit their current one. So that's what these ladies would do. I'm not saying women do this. Psychology does say that 50% of women have a backup plan.
I've read that too.
That's a crazy percentage. That's crazy. But it's like, and those backup plans, they're not speaking in depth. Those backup plans are the male friends. It may not be like, oh, I'm actively have 2 boyfriends. That's the backup plan. You didn't get the job yet. The applications are in my office. Like, that's the woman. My applications are in my office. I got an employee already, but I got applications over there. Like, those are the backups. That's what the male friends are. That's what the husbands or that guy that every week or 2 weeks you go do your groceries. You talk to the cashier or he's putting out produce. Stock guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a connection with him. It's those are the backup plans. But that's what not psychology is saying. They just said 50% of women have them. So I'm looking at it like, the high masculine energy, they don't have a problem doing it. Now, a feminine woman, that would overwhelm her. That's why I say she got to be in her masculine, and the trauma is what starts that. So it's like a whole domino effect. If she don't feel lucky, she's traumatized. If she's traumatized, she's heavy in her masculine, because you got to understand that's trickling all the way down to like, oh, they're not healing. So if they're still in heavy in their masculine, they're not healing. So if they didn't heal, or if they're not on a journey, they can't identify. So they didn't even know that they're heavy in their masculine. So now they're like, fear, nervous system always up, neuroticism, blah blah blah. I can't put all my eggs in this basket. I can't give my all because I'll be fucked up. I'll be fucked up if I give my all. So I gotta keep these backups for just in case. So the woman that's actually giving her all will feel lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I'm rolling the dice here. I'm putting all my eggs in this basket. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's a confident feminine woman that will look at that. Either God will always have her back, the universe will always have her back, even if they broke up and she was single. The scarcity mindset of the woman who doesn't receive or open to receive abundance, she will be like, no, because I got a lot of bad habits. Any little thing, he's gonna run away. So I gotta keep my backup. She's not taking accountability. She's not trying to self-improve. She's not trying to put all her eggs in that basket by even learning that dynamic and that partner. So she's not gonna feel lucky. So yeah, she's gonna have that roster.
Is it
and by her having that roster, she's not gonna be able to pair bond, which is the biggest thing. Like, she has to build emotional connection, for her to feel lucky in that dynamic. And if she got all this male energy around her, she's not gonna be able to do that. She's gonna struggle.
True.
Is it easier to get a woman to submit or a man to commit?
Now, we've asked this question to like numerous guests, past seasons.
I think you were on for one also.
For this one?
Yeah, through telephone.
Oh God, I don't know if my answer's changed now, because I think it's easier to get a man to commit, only because they're so weak and feminine now, and a woman is just too masculine to submit. So if it's just a general question like that, I'm going to say that it's easier for a man to commit in this day and age.
I'm going to say it's easier for a woman to submit, because I just don't see a man. I mean, maybe from my experience and what I've seen, it's hard to get a man to commit to one person, like to commit that kind of commitment. You know what I mean? Like I think you could get a woman to submit to one man. You know,
so you're
her
saying like a
man.
man to commit to one woman and marriage?
No, she's thinking subjective.
Yeah. What kind of commitment did you think?
I thought marriage.
Oh, that's true. I mean, he could commit to the marriage and then have side pieces.
Yeah.
That is true.
I've just
Good
seen
point,
so many
Daph.
weak men being married to very masculine women. And that's what I've seen so much. And that's what I've seen in the past 20 years now because of the women being so masculine and the men being so weak.
Yeah.
So, so are we talking about modern era or
I'm
in
talking
general
modern.
with this question?
Yes.
I'm talking more in general, I guess.
In general? So not modern, not back in the day.
I don't know why. I just think it would be easier for a woman to submit to a man than a man to commit.
Okay, so if I look at back in the days and today, it's easier for a woman to submit than it is for a man to commit.
Okay.
So
back in the days,
the operative word here is easier, right? So we're looking at what's harder. It's harder. Like I'm because you said general, so I'm adding back in the day, traditional era, and modern era. And the reason I'm doing this is because I got triggered when you said that. Back in the days, it was harder because they couldn't even touch a woman, certain countries and whatever, until they went to a certain amount of days. So it was hard. It was really, really hard to commit, to get the guy to commit, because we got to follow these rules. Like I can't even just, give you myself and my mind, my body, my soul already. You got to go through this. So it's kind of like hard. The woman had to really put in work and keep his interest to want to keep going on those dates. So it was hard. Now today, hard because you see everything that's being given for free.
Wait, what's hard today? The
To
man to commit?
man to commit.
Oh.
So it's easier for the woman to submit because I'm looking at these terms in general, not putting specifics to them. So when I look at submission, it falls under an umbrella of a lot of things. I could say a woman that is posting her body online is submissive to a lot of her male followers, OnlyFans and stuff like that. She's submissive. A woman that's giving it up on the first date, opening her legs, that's physical submission. Because when we look at I don't want to do a visual aid, but the XLR cord like this, that goes inside pussy.
Oh my
so
God.
Give us an example.
No. So she does. So the thing is, so the thing is, at the end of the day, it's a lot harder to get the man to commit because so many things is easy. Even back then, when the woman had to preserve that value, it was still harder to get him to commit.
Okay. I thought you meant a woman to submit, full submission. That's what I thought it was, the submission that you love. I thought that's what that
so
was.
Submission is subjective.
Like BDSM submission?
No, let him lead the way, let him make all the choices.
It's subjective because if we said sexual submission, then we could talk general. If we said physical submission, mental, emotional, but you got women that are submissive and they're all different types.
Yep, that's fair.
So you have the whore who's submissive sexually. She sleeps with guys on the first date. She thinks that's empowerment because she can sleep with whoever she wants. But she's being submissive. She's submitting her body to be subjective to disrespectful sex, whatever, all that. Because she's getting dominated, right? So she could be submitting emotionally. She got the male friends. Submitting emotionally. Everybody gets access to me. I'm not withholding my access. My access ain't shit.
Yeah.
So everybody gets access to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's submissive. It could be physical submission. You know what I'm saying? She just lets random guys touch her.
Come from behind and pinch your ass.
Yeah, pinch your ass.
Not consensual. That's unaware.
I converted it. No, I'm just kidding. So, in that regard, it's different submission, different types of women. So we're just talking in general, I believe that they do. So it's a lot easier because it could even take money. It could be I just met this girl and she says, if I cash app her $1,000, I'm definitely going to have a good time tonight. So that's so easy.
That's crazy.
Like who ain't got $1,000? Like even if you ain't got it now, you could work to get it. Like that's easy. Wow, I didn't have to talk to her. I didn't have to build.
That's true.
I didn't have to wait. I didn't have to talk about my accolades. I didn't have to talk about what I do. I didn't have to show her my status. She didn't even get to see who I am. We're still virtual. You see how easy that was? Yeah. Oh, I just got a cash. What's your cash app? That was so easy. You see?
Unless she's
she'd
a
be
scammer.
she'd be willing to be submissive in that regard. So it's so much easier nowadays. You know, you could just do the littlest thing and you could get women to talk to you, give you their time, give you their body, see them online.
Oh, I agree with you on that, 100%. 100%.
You know, so now that type of feminism has actually made it harder for men to commit today.
That's true. Okay. Yes, I agree with that.
What would inhibit a woman to be submissive to her man? Not a man, but to her man.
Her trauma, social surroundings, and her mental health. Like, also what she's grown up with, what she's used to, what she hears, reads. Because women, it goes back to trauma as well, obviously, but they're also very influenced with what they're seeing online. So I think it's, a lot of women talking to other women going, don't do that for it. It's just a man, like be a woman and blah, blah, blah. They listen to that crap. So I think that would probably slow down a woman's choice to be submissive to her man because of what her girlfriends are saying, lifestyle, family, etc. And meanwhile, she shouldn't be listening to those things. She should be obviously discussing those things with her partner and doing what's right as a female.
I like those answers. I'm gonna go more. My answer is gonna be just a little bit more simpler. I think just her emotions. If she's in a bad mood, guess what? She's not submissive to him.
Yeah,
you know for sure. Like if she's angry, if she notices something that she didn't like, now he's not gonna eat today. Or whatever. I think it's just her however she's feeling, the way the wind blows.
Definitely.
She's listening to me too much. I'm surprised. I'm surprised, Sue, you said that because you and I kind of were on the same wavelength with that, and we didn't rehearse this.
No, we didn't rehearse this one.
I was already putting in my mind what my answer was gonna be, Daphne, as you were talking, and I might surprise people. And I want them to turn it up because I'm not going to speak loud. 2 words. Now, before I say this, can you ladies guess the 2 words? What would inhibit a woman from being submissive to her man? Can you think of the 2 words I'm going to say?
Come on, Sue.
You're the guest first.
You're here every week.
Guests first.
You're here every week, Sue.
I think I have it.
You know him better than me.
It might not be right.
Say it.
No, guess first.
What do you say, Daphne?
Oh my God. Personal trauma.
You said personal? I said emotional.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
I said emotional trauma.
Okay.
He's like, wrong.
So you ladies are on the right track.
Yay.
The main answer is, I believe, right? Because these are subjective. 2 words. Drum roll, please. The woman.
Oh.
That's why I said you guys are right. Like, you guys are kind of right there.
Okay, killer.
You know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with the man. The woman. Now, mind you, because I think this is an old school thing, the woman either has to have God in her or she needs to be spiritual.
Yep.
So that could be religious, or she probably is not religious. She just believes in God.
Yep.
Or she's a spiritual being, an empath. Those 2 things have to be intact.
Correct.
She can't be out there doing devilish shit.
Correct.
Being the devil, right? Because that's toxicity. That's when the devil is thriving. She has to have God in her or be spiritual. We could be in direct correlation for her to be submissive. So it's going to fall on her. Now she's going to start to hold herself accountable. She's going to control her emotions. She's going to incorporate emotional regulation skills. She's going to be patient. She's going to work on her femininity. It's the woman. You ever heard that saying, you're in your own way? You are your worst enemy? When the woman is fighting submission with her man, she's in her own way.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if that guy is not up to standard, she can work on herself and bounce and
Correct.
get what is on standard. But at the end of the day, it's not the guy to have to come in and do work on the woman.
Spot on.
It's not. He's not your therapist.
No, that's correct.
He's gonna be your man. He's not your doctor. He's supposed to be your man. The woman should already come in trying to work on herself or
Very true.
healed, and then they're building together.
Correct.
So she has to hold herself accountable. That's the operative word that a lot of women run away from. The moment she has God in her and is spiritual, she incorporates accountability in her life. And that is in direct correlation with discipline.
Yep.
So when she has discipline in her life, even if she's getting off track, she incorporates discipline in her life and she gets herself back on track.
That's spot on.
So it's I believe, and these are no right or wrong answers, perspective. I believe it's the woman that is the problem of her not being submissive.
Correct.
Like she's in her own way.
Yep.
Nothing the man could do, because you could have guys that are a good man. He does everything right. Sue, your subjective answer consistent. You, Daphne, masculine. He brings all of those things, and she's still not learning. She's still not elevating. It's clearly not the man. You know what I'm saying? So the way the woman operates in the dynamic is up to her.
Correct.
Okay. If
Because
a woman,
submission is a choice. Sorry.
Correct.
if a woman is catering to her man, still giving him access to sex for her man, but doesn't respect him, and it shows with her actions, words, and behaviors, is she still submissive there, or submitted because she's still catering and nurturing and giving access?
No, she's just giving access, but she's not giving her full submission, because if she was, but she doesn't respect her man. So if she doesn't respect her man, that's not submission. Giving sex is like a prostitute. Okay, that's fine. Give it to him. So actions, with behaviors. No, so if she's not fully 100% submissive with her, I think respect is so huge in relationships, especially when a man is definitely masculine and a woman is supposed to be submissive. So I don't think she is.
I agree. I don't think she is. I think she's when she's giving him access, that's because she's being selfish and she
Yeah.
wants that
Yeah.
also. I think she's submissive to her needs, like her pleasure. Because I mean, like I agree with you with the respect. If she's not showing him respect with actions, words, or behaviors, then she's not being submissive to him.
No.
How many women have you heard in your lifetime that have said to their man, you talk to your friends that, oh, I want to make you happy. Like they have said to their man, I want to make you happy today. Or I want to make you happy this week. Have you heard that? Or have you said it when you were in a relationship?
I don't think I've specifically heard it from anyone. I think when I was in relationships, I tried to do that, but I don't think I physically said those words.
Okay.
Maybe. I can't remember.
So
I have heard other women say that, and I have said that out loud verbally.
Good for you, Sue.
Thank you.
So what's the question? What?
If a woman catering to her man, still giving access to sex.
So I believe that she's submissive to a degree because of how we're looking at submission in every regard, sexual, mental, physical, stuff of that nature. But I also don't believe in partial submission. So I can say, like, technically, yeah, because if she's withholding sex, if she's also disrespecting him, if she's like, yeah, feed yourself, nigga, blah, 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 this, that, or we ain't gonna do this, I'm not going out with you, whatever, we're living like roommates now. Yeah, she's completely not submissive, but she's still submissive to a degree. She's just not submissive 100%.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about respect, that's the biggest form of submission, that the woman could give a man. So, it's still partial because of the access she's giving. But if I had to choose, I can't say both. I would say she's not because of the respect factor. I agree with Daphne. Whores do that. They open their legs every day. They open it online to show people, and they open for you to penetrate them. So whores do that, and whores can also come home and cook, clean, help the baby, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they're still partial submission there, but they're not really submissive. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when you look at the sexual aspect and you look at modern era, it's not valued as it was back then. So we're just looking at it as regular. You know what I'm saying? But back in the days, when you're looking at a woman opening her legs, you're saying, "Wow, that's one of the most profound forms of submission. That's the like the ultimate level of it. That's like third base, home. You know, second base and first base is over. We're home stretch now. You know, so yeah, I think that it's not due to the respect factor, because you got to look at the respect is the cornerstone to what's gonna keep her present in that dynamic. When she doesn't respect the guy, she's gonna eventually not be submissive 100%. She's gonna stop cooking. She's gonna stop catering. She's gonna withhold sex only when, like you said, Sue, it's benefiting her. She's going to cheat. She's not going to be loyal. She's not going to be faithful and loyal. Two different things, I believe. You know, so it's going to be, eventually it's going to turn there where it's completely eradicated.
Correct.
What could be the cause of this power struggle? Because she's partly there if she's catering to him.
I think those situations, women are, again, going back to keeping their options open if they're not happy. So they don't want to obviously submit to a man fully, because then that relinquishes their power. Obviously, that's women that don't understand the concept of true submission. So I think those women definitely have a power struggle to fully submit, and that's why they withhold that little bit of respect, because it gives them in their head a level of superiority, and they can, they're still running the show in their head.
That makes sense. I like that answer. I'm gonna jump on that one. I also think maybe why she's not fully. No, I'm gonna jump on yours. Yeah, okay. I like that one.
No.
Dang you. He was like,
Here we go.
All right.
Go, tell us, educate us.
She gotta go.
No, I have to.
I thought you were saying we're wrong.
Yeah.
No. I liked your answer.
No, you're right. He wants me to think of something.
You've evolved. Your mentality.
I have.
I think with the cause of it, maybe she doesn't want to completely give up her power. Maybe she thinks, if I do, he's gonna walk all over me, and not, maybe that's
can't show weakness.
And it could be maybe like a previous relationship, like she's kind of jaded.
Falls under the umbrella of unhealed trauma.
Mm-hmm.
That's why what is it, power struggle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a plethora of things that we mentioned earlier. Other women, she has low self-esteem. Oh, that's big. Low self-esteem. Because she's going to have to go against the grain. Go against the crowd. What they're saying is right. Based off that. Because at the end of the day, sometimes women don't even follow their own feelings. They follow what the society is saying.
Correct.
Wait, that man makes you feel good, and he's doing all the right stuff. Society's saying for you to not subject yourself to that. So you're not even looking at internally. So you have low self-esteem. So that's a woman that has low self-esteem, unhealed trauma, hasn't had some type of therapy to identify and working on herself, is not holding herself accountable, and she is like she's aggressive. That's the major component. Power struggles don't come from women who are submissive and respect their partner or subordinate. Even we're talking about boss, subordinate or whatever, but we're talking about relationship here. Power struggles don't come from women who are docile. So women who are submissive are not aggressive, especially with their partner. It doesn't matter what you do in your day-to-day. The moment you start treating him like strangers and employees or whatever, it's a major issue. You know what I'm saying? And she has that inside her. And it's just that the non-accountable ways of her is bringing her to that realm of pushing it out. Because what you got to understand is the mask that you wear in the world should not be the mask that you wear with your man. You know what I'm saying? But it's common with the women that power struggle. Now they start treating you like the world. So I think that the power struggle comes from hate. Internally, it comes from rage. And I'm just giving more context because we talk about trauma all the time, but we don't talk about what's creating it. So I think the hate, the rage, the can't let go, the stubbornness, the pride, the ego, that's what makes the power struggle present.
Definitely.
Because when the woman's submissive, remember she's incorporating like humbleness. So all of that stuff could be with the strangers, but when she's with the man, she can never see herself being like that with him. Like, I can never see myself being prideful with him. I can never see myself being stubborn. I can never see myself getting the last word. I can never see myself struggling in this regard when I know he likes to be in this position. You know, so I think that's what comes with it. Like, it's internal battles. And if they're not on their healing journey, they'll never be able to identify that.
Correct.
They'll never learn that lesson. Does a man have to be in his masculine for a woman to be in her feminine?
Masculinity is, if you're a masculine, you are you don't have to be in your masculine. If you're masculine, you are masculine. And a woman definitely embraces her femininity when a man is masculine with her. So if I'm reading that question just as it is, then yes. But I think masculinity is just
innate.
If you're a masculine man, you don't have to be in it.
You could tell that she's been around you for a minute because she's like, wait, if I'm reading this damn question
right, very clear here.
Because sometimes he's tricky with his wording, and then he'd be like, the tricky word.
Correct.
She's an avid supporter.
I've learned a lot from this guy.
You can't you got to be deep with him,
because
man.
you can't be in your masculine because, like you said, it's innate. You are masculine. You're not going to be in it. But a woman can be in her feminine when she's with a masculine man.
I agree with that. Okay. I agree that he has to be masculine to bring that woman to get that feminine out of her. It's natural for a woman. If a woman's not in her feminine, it's because she's not around a masculine man. Once she gets there, it kind of triggers her to that femininity wants to come out.
It does.
You know what I mean? Like if she's with a feminine guy and she's maybe inside, like maybe not knowingly, what's that word? Subconsciously. She's thinking to herself subconsciously, I have to man up because what's going to happen? You know what I mean? But if she's with a masculine man, she doesn't have to do all that. And she knows, like her instincts know that.
Yes. If I say yes, then that gives women a pass. It gives them a pass to not improve. It gives them a pass to not hold themselves accountable. So I believe no. I don't believe a man needs to be in his masculine for the woman to be in her feminine. She needs to already come ready. It's game time. No more games. There's not time to play anymore. It's game time. You need to come ready. Like when you go to the bathroom and you sit down to pee, you don't forget you're a woman. You don't forget you're feminine. You know what I'm saying? When you're going through your monthly cycle or whatever it is, labor, you don't forget you're a woman. So women don't forget they're women. They don't forget they're feminine. So I think that's a scapegoat when we say that men need to improve.
No.
Women need what?
I don't think that. I mean, that's not how I took it. That a man needs to improve. That's not how I thought it. But go ahead. Finish.
Okay. A man needs to improve or be in his masculine to change the woman. See, the reality is technically you can't change people. They got to make the choice to change.
Correct.
Like I had to learn that because I always used to say, yeah, I changed women and I changed it. No, they were also on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't keep them in a cage and force them and do it. No, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like they made the choice. You know what I'm saying? Whether I had to leave for them to change or incorporate rules, discipline them, punish them, whatever it is. Do these certain things, teach, guide, lead, be consistent. They had to take the responsibility themselves to hold themselves accountable and be like, I'm going to do this, right? So I think it's giving women a pass. Because I could speak from personal experience. I could meet women online, right? Let me pick the one that is not the OnlyFans, but she shows her body. Okay, she's showing her body, booty, and stuff like that. It's online. Oh, let me get with her and change her. So I move in a masculine way. I enter that dynamic in a masculine way. And that woman is still not behaving femininely. So am I doing the wrong thing? No, it's giving the woman escape. Technically, it's giving her escape. So I think that the man does not necessarily need to be in his masculine for the woman to be in her feminine. I also knew of feminine women that were with beta male manginas.
How does that work out?
You know what I'm saying? It didn't. They had to end up being in their masculine to finally walk out. But like that's a perfect example of she's approaching femininely. That's all she knows. She picks a guy that's beta and this and that, and she doesn't know these terms that they exist or whatever. She can't study energy. She's not an empath like that and spiritual, right? So she doesn't know, but she's doing her part. So that kind of negates that. You know what I'm saying? Because she's still being feminine and he clearly isn't. It's the same type of polarity. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's opposites that attract and stick. You know what I'm saying? Not the same. So I believe that the woman should already come correct so the man don't need to correct her. Or less correcting he got to do. But at the end of the day, when we tell men you got to be in your masculine, we're putting a lot of pressure now on the younger guys. We're putting a lot of pressure on the younger guys to also get a fucking bad deal out there. So, you know what? You always got to do this and blah, 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 blah. They get with the women who are gold diggers, females who are gold diggers, and all these other things, opportunities, whatever, OnlyFans, and they're getting the bad deals. They're getting played there and whatever. They still got to keep doing what they're doing to keep getting this. No, the women have to improve. You know, I think that's what it comes down to. But you know, when the woman improves, she gonna accept right, because at the end of the day, the woman is in charge of the spiritual realm. The man is in charge of the physical one. We protect women in the physical realm. We created all of this to make it easy for y'all, right? So y'all pray for us. Y'all pray for us. Y'all think positive. He's gonna have a good day. Y'all use your words as power. Y'all get in your power of femininity and submission, and y'all elevate that spiritual side. So the moment the woman is in her femininity, God is present. And if God is present, she gets divine assistance. What's that? Intuition. So now she's able to scope out the bullshit, if it is bullshit. Or roses, if it is roses. Green flags, red flags, yellow flags. So now she can navigate out there and be like, yeah, those beta guys, I'm not. Because I know those signs. The masculine, I'm going to accept. I'm going to want. And if she choose right and she's present there. Because at the end of the day, she want to stay in her power. She needs to get with men or be in situations that's just gonna thrive that's just gonna be like that ornament for like the Christmas tree, and for her embody that all the time. By her being placed in circumstances and with guys that is counterintuitive, is gonna make shit worse. It's gonna reinforce trauma. So if she wants to be in her feminine, she needs to already get with masculine guys. Not, oh, let me get with this guy and he gotta step up. No, correct. That sounds stupid to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying y'all are stupid or the question is, you know, but that sounds stupid to me. You know, so it's like, you know, you're trying to tell a woman how to be a woman. You know, that's so weird. They know how to do that already. They're just playing games. You know, I'm just that like ancient psychiatrist. You know, my ancestors were gurus and scientists and stuff like that. So I have an old spirit in me. You know what I'm saying? So they give me all the answers. So that's really what's going on when we talk about the modern era. I think that women need to improve. I'm not saying we both don't need to work on ourselves, but the men are trying. It's just that the women are straying away. So they need to improve. And if they get into their power, and their power is femininity, they'll be able to decipher and use proper discernment. When they use proper discernment, okay, I'm choosing him because he's the one that it's not the safest. Beta male mangina is the safest because he gives me the most attention. No, he's the one that's gonna secure everything, right? You know what I'm saying? And that safety is gonna be intact automatically, but he's gonna secure things right. Yeah, I might think he's a little bit of an asshole, but I never had to question his honesty. He never had to put me in positions to think I was not gonna feel safe. You know, I never had to feel like the load was on me, stress and whatever. He took care of that. So I gotta do my part. I gotta step up for him. That's how the woman has to like approach that situation. When we keep talking about men gotta be in their masculine to make women do this, all that shit's gonna do is make it temporary. A man like me is gonna enter the dynamic with the regular woman who's oblivious to that, and I'm gonna give her all the benefits, and you know she gonna love my benefits because a lot of men can't give those benefits. So she's gonna learn what I like, and she's gonna try to play that. She's gonna play it. She's gonna be fake with it, and it's not gonna be consistent.
She's gonna lie on the application.
She's gonna lie on the application. We're gonna set men up for that.
Indeed.
You know, so we need to actually tell females need to get to women. Women's divine. Females need to get to women. How do they do that? Work on themselves. They got to incorporate discipline and accountability.
That's true.
I now know how to answer that question moving forward. And stole a question like that again. That was a trick question.
There you go. I know, me too. I read it again. I was like, wait a second.
Damn it. We should have known better, Sue.
With these, there's no right or wrong answer.
Nah, but we should have known better.
But, you know, I definitely think that when we based off, because we got a big platform, right? So based off what we say, we could be part of the problem or part of the solution in society today.
Correct.
So when we're saying stuff like that, and I'm not trying to pick on y'all, you know, I'm just saying a general thing. When we say, yo, the men got to step up and then the women will, it's looking at it more so like we're going to be part of the problem. Because now they could keep doing OnlyFans. And all they got to do is just get a simp shining armor guy to come in and then bring masculinity. And then she's going to drop all that. You know what I'm saying? We need to keep saying men be masculine. Yes, we need to keep saying that. You know what I'm saying? And when they aren't, we do hold them accountable. Your father does, your group of friends, we do. But we need to start incorporating with both ways, the women too.
Correct.
Because back in the days, even currently, all we're saying is putting it on the men.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, men are the leaders, but at the end of the day, when we talk about getting in a relationship, it's yin and yang, complementary opposites. The woman can't just come in and expect not to do her part, and she's gonna get everything.
That's why
it doesn't work.
I crossed out. I was like, damn it, he read my mind.
It just doesn't work. A boss is as good as his employees. He can't do everything, even if he or she thinks they can. So the employees got to do their part so we could build a strong team.
Correct.
Final thoughts.
Yes. Your final thoughts on... Just kidding. Episode 207, do you believe women aren't submissive to their man because most women don't believe they're lucky to be with them?
Yeah, look, after the whole conversation, modern women are draining a lot of energy from a lot of people. They need to start refocusing and working on their trauma and healing and coming to the table more correctly and recognizing their issues to be better. Like, they shouldn't have to look for a man to feel complete or whole. They should come to that man complete and whole, or working towards that solution, so that they can both balance each other out and have a successful relationship. Again, that's my aim, even though I'm single and I'm giving this advice. Take it with a grain of salt.
That's a good
I just want to add to that, because I don't want to forget. I know, Sue, you're next. I'm glad you said that, because oftentimes modern chicks, and I'll call them chicks, they haven't earned even female. In me, I'm going to start calling them chicks. And then maybe they'll start changing, right? Take it upon themselves. Modern chicks will come in with these ridiculous. No. I'm giving them. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Stupid expectations of a man, right? Expecting that the man's gonna take you. The man at that level, at that upper echelon, is only going to ride with the woman or women that rode with him to get there. They don't get that. So they're asking for things that they're never gonna get. Because this is what I'm talking about. Like, it comes down to, we both gotta put in work. I already worked on myself. You didn't. You're asking for me. But when we find each other, I'm gonna make you work. You know that, right? But you're not willing to work. You want to get the finished product. But I'm not gonna trust you if you just want the finished product. Because now I think you a scammer. Now I think you a deuce. Now I think you a gold digger. You don't want me. You want my money. You want my status. So now I got trauma too. You know what I'm saying? Because you're telling me you're not willing to put in work. So it's not gonna ever work for them. I'm telling them the truth. But they think, you know what? He gotta make 6 figures. He gotta get a 6-pack or have one. He has to have this type of car. He has to work this type of job. He has to probably be black, Asian, white. He has to be a great talker. He has to have this platform. He has to have assets. He can't just be doing a 9-to-5. He gotta have a side hustle. Because what is he gonna do for the next 10 years and support me and the kids or whatever? All these high expectations. You gotta have this amount of money before you take me out. Blah blah blah. All these high stupid expectations for them to not really ever get that, because those guys that at that level, remember, they worked on themselves, so they're gonna see you a mile away. You're not gonna be able to trick them. They're gonna, the only thing that they might be lucky enough is to get a guy like that, but he's gonna be a simp.
Yeah.
So reality is, he'll have the stupid, superficial, and exterior validation, but internally he's gonna be shit.
Correct. So yeah, just that they've got to work on themselves. We've got to be better. I mean, everyone's got to be better at the end of the day, but women today are probably that little bit worse than what men are in regards to how they act and think and treat men in general.
So
I think because something that you said triggered me. I think that most women today they're kind of delusional because and this came to me when this opinion were saying how a lot of women, a lot of chicks come with those unrealistic lists, right? So it's like, what makes you, or what about you, the women, the chicks now, what makes it lucky to have you as a woman? You know what I mean? Like, what is so great about you? Do you have a 6-pack? Do you make that figure? You know what I'm saying? Can you match him in those things? Like, what are you bringing?
And that's what the guys are gonna think.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that if you're not at the top of your status or whatever, then you have a lot of, excuse my language, balls to expect something more than, you know what I'm saying, than what you have.
Yeah, if I go on a date with a woman and she's asking me certain questions, I'm an asshole, right? I'm a jerk. I'm fucking her mind up by asking her the same question in reverse. Oh, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? How much money do you have? What is your job? What is your job? How much money do you have? Do you have anything saved up? Oh, like, where do you live? Where do you live? Like, I'm going in because I feel like those things don't matter. So I'm playing the game too. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? You know what I'm saying? Because at this point we're not even talking about character. Now you want to ask me about my character? Oh, I'm gonna give you a straight answer now. Okay, it makes sense. But if I meet a woman like that, I never met a woman like that. But if I met a woman like that, or female like that, and we were on a first date or whatever, or even through virtual, we were talking DM, whatever, and she was asking those questions, that's how I'm asking her to make her look at how stupid those questions are. Like, look how stupid that is. And then when you say, well, that's ridiculous. Oh, listen, waiter or waitress, we're going to split the bill because, she's a strong, independent feminist and she believes in equality. So it just doesn't make sense. Like, I got it. I know I got it. But it doesn't make sense for me to pay for everything, right? Because that might offend her. I might be a misogynist. So, you know what I'm saying? That's right with you, right? She gonna change her tune now. You know, so like with that, like I fuck with their brain. Like I do in psychology, because it's like, look, like this is how stupid you sound. So when at the end of those things, you're like, well, that's ridiculous. Exactly. You just.
It's almost like you want to ask them, do you check off on what's on their list? You have your own list. Yeah. Can you be checked off on every single part of their list?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
so my final thoughts with this, I would say that, you know, I don't always urge women to be submissive. I would say in a relationship, I would make that the standard. But if you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell women to do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, it's a choice. But do not cry for the consequences. We always have to add that, because too oftentimes we're telling women that we could be anything. Yeah, get into that field, be that doctor. It's gonna take 10 years, but it's okay. You don't tell her that perhaps her dating along the way will suffer, because she gotta invest that too in those 10 years. So we're not telling her of the possible consequences. Women don't do it. Men don't do it. A lot of parents don't do it. Some parents do it. So you know, kudos to them. But we know, I don't urge women to do it, because at the end of the day, you could be submitting to a predator, thinking that, oh, just because we're in a relationship, we should be like. At the end of the day, both should be bringing what they should be bringing. Like, you shouldn't feel that. You know, like, I'm a dominant in the BDSM lifestyle. I have submissive. I shouldn't feel that I'm going to stop being a dom. Like, I'm going to stop opening the door now. I'm going to stop providing. I'm going to stop protecting. I'm going to stop teaching. I'm going to stop leading. I'm going to stop disciplining, punishing. I'm going to stop checking them, even verbally, when they're disrespectful. Your mouth crazy. Don't ever let that happen again. I'm going to stop doing that, because I'm complacent now. I have one. No, we got to keep working. You can be married for 60 years. It doesn't matter. No. We should keep working. You know, so I think that, you know, if you want success in your relationship, the woman has to submit. But do what you want to do. It's just, if you don't submit, don't cry because you don't have a masculine man. He don't care. He stopped doing things. He stopped taking you out. He stopped being intimate how you want. Or he's not teaching anymore, or he, damn, you know, when we first met, he used to buy roses. Now we don't go out. He's just playing video games all the time. Don't be afraid if the relationship fails. He leaves you. You end up walking away. Like, you know, we got to tell people about the consequences. Do what you want, but there's consequences. I feel like submitting is the key to success, you know, but, you know, you don't have to. It's all about how it makes you feel. I've met a lot of women that say that when they are submissive, they feel good. You know, that's what it comes down to. Like, you're good at your job because you love doing it. And that's a job. Dominant is a job. Submissive is a job. So if you love your job, you're going to be good at it. That's true. You know, so I think that there's a lot of females who want to get into that direction, but there's not enough leadership. Not enough male leadership. Like, we could say all the right stuff. We go on podcasts and speak all this Harvard grad vernacular and all that, but there's no solutions to the problem. There's nothing. Like, everybody sounds good. Everybody's saying all the great things, but there's no direction. There's and then there's not a group of people that are ironclad to actually do it. It's one or two. It's a group of people coming together to change the masses. Now, to change this, because change only happens with choice. And that's before that comes education. So we going out there and we're educating and stuff like that, but we have to show the result. We have to show why the mother is like this. She's single, this, that. The independent, strong feminist is getting there to that age, but they're still single, but they want to be with a man. Women are out there lying, saying that they're single by choice. That's not true. It makes sense if you're non-heterosexual, but you're not a lesbian. You want male companionship. So, why is it not happening for them? It gotta be a behavioral issue. Oh, we hit something. We're getting there. We're getting there. So men don't fall in love with sex. Because then prostitutes would keep them. Oh, so they don't stay when they're the most sexed. They don't stay if you cook and clean, right? Because women will talk about, I did all that and I still got shit. So every guy, beta, ba, alpha, whatever it is, all these different, they have a common denominator, behavior. We're on to something. So now what can the woman change?
Their behavior.
Their actions, how they move, how they're gonna be. Sometimes you gotta put the ego aside. You don't have to have the last word. Who's winning? Who's winning a trophy?
No.
By yelling the loudest.
No one.
By being always right. At some point it comes down to that, like incorporating the mindset of team. Not even partnership. Like that partnership sounds weird to me. It's like partnership. Oh, I want a companion. I want Paul's weekly dick.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Or when the man says it. No, it's like partnership is like no. It's team. You're in a relationship with someone. Like those things you could talk about business, partnership, team members, partnership, but you're in a relationship with someone, intimate, romantic relationship. You guys are teammates. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you can change your mindset, that's the first process of healing. It's the mind, because the mind is fucked up. A lot of people don't talk about that. It's the mind, and then the spirit ends up getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And then you start moving different. You get these emotions, motion. You know what I'm saying? So now you start moving away based off how you think. Because those thinkings are giving feelings, whether it's dopamine, whether it's run this that, fight or flight. So I think that educate yourself. That's what I would say. Educate, get therapy. Could be therapy with somebody like a close friend or whatever that you trust their opinion.
That's good.
You don't have to go to a professional, so people can't afford that. Forgive yourself. Forgive your childhood trauma. Maybe forgive your parents and stuff of that nature. Cause all that stuff is shaping how you view the world and your relationship. Like your relationship could be fucked up because you just haven't healed that childhood trauma.
Very true.
You haven't come to terms with it. You gotta forgive yourself, and you gotta forgive the act. You gotta forgive the people that hurt you too. You know what I'm saying? Those things are like chains. They're like heavy chains with the like the ball and chain. It's heavy, and you're trying to move with it. You can't even run. And
it's like you're running underwater.
Yeah, like you're getting tired, of running. And at some point you might remain stagnant. So I think it comes down to the work that men and women are willing to put in. But today is a topic about women. So women gotta, be willing to put in the work. And the only way it's gonna start is by them incorporating accountability and discipline. That's the only way you get to improvement.
That's true.
That's why I always believed like men are better at improvement than women. We've had that question too. Women just would naturally think like, we earlier, brains more developed. We use our brain more efficiently, even though men have bigger brains. We're mature at an earlier age than men. No, but that has nothing to do with improvement. It's like men have no choice to improve because they have all these things working up against them to get them to that level. At the end of the day, when something goes on in a facility, you look at who's in charge. You don't look at second in command, third in command, and for whatnot. A store or whatever, mall, whatever. You're like, yo, who's the manager here? Who's the CEO? It's a building. Who's the manager? You're not looking at the employees and be like, yo, let me talk to you. You're the employee? Let me talk to you. Because you own this establishment. You go to the chain of command. So that's naturally of what they want to do with men. But at the end of the day, we can't forget about the women. It's the part that needs to be done. Most of the time, we're pandering the women and fucking up the guy's head. That's and true. Saying that we gotta provide all these things and bring all these things to the table so the women can feel comfort. No, the woman has to do her part. She has to work on herself for her to get those rewards. You know, they can't just come in. That's why a lot of times you're getting in these fucked up relationships where it's sexless, they're cheating, they're not close. They don't have the fundamentals: respect, trust, honesty, mutually. They don't have all these things. They don't know how to be in a relationship because they were just taught on how to operate with the opposite sex. Not also how to operate in a relationship.
It's true.
Also making it subjective because there's different relationships out there, different people. You know, so it all comes down to the work. That's like the first thing. Healing the mind. Get out the matrix. Unlearn to relearn. And make it subjective of how it is with it, you know, with you. You know, and then you start healing other things. And then what you're ingesting too. Sometimes this McDonald's could be fucking up these women, making them masculine.
100%.
You never know. So it's also what you're eating, what you're incorporating. All right, we're gonna cut because we could be here for another 2 hours. I could talk straight.
It's true.
Thank you for coming on again.
Thank you for having me.
All the
Love
way
you
from
guys.
Australia.
You guys are gonna come to a show in Australia one day.
Yeah.
As long as you get rid of them bugs.
There's no bugs.
There's spiders. I've seen pictures.
We'll do a podcast show out there.
Hey, that would be so
That'd be
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you were tuned in to one of the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, real, unheralded, but soon to be heralded conversations stimulating after dark, only on the Discipline Therapy Podcast.